So thanks very much to Doug for the opportunity to present International Graphite to the conference. To start with, we don't have a disclaimer, but I thought I'd introduce a bit of technology that our technical director recently found in China. I do believe that Google Translator might have something to do with this, but the technology is such that you put graphite in this end and you get diamonds out this end. So we thought that was pretty fantastic bit of technology. These same guys, you got to give it to them on their website. Treat customer as God is their management principle. So we thought these guys have got it made. Graphite demand growth, there's plenty of information on the internet about the projected growth of graphite. It's projected, as far as we can see, to have a growth rate of about 6% CAGR. That's on the back of an underlying industrial rate which is pretty steady, and the growing battery market and the expandables market, that the battery market's projected, we believe, at 24% CAGR. So our company, its purpose is to develop a secondary graphite processing facility in the UAE, utilising high quality graphite concentrates from mining projects under development in East Africa. And there's been a number of speakers, Julian just before on his project and Tom later on Black Earth. I don't think Chrissy said, but I am also the chairman of Black Earth Minerals and operating in Madagascar. So we're also, as part of this project, which is independent of Black Earth, looking at the viability of a comparable project in Lithium Valley. There we hope to work with Cameron and Angela and the Infonomics team going into next year to assist us with that. We're adopting established technology. We're not trying to introduce any new technology into the business. And we're employing ISO environmental and quality standards, practicing ethical, sustainable, socially responsible operation. The team, we've got Jasper, who is our technical director, who is an expert in secondary graphite processing, Matt Bull, who has been on a number of graphite boards. Chris Whiteley is a Texas-based marketing expert in graphite who is on our team. Dave Pass, who some of you will know, who is Battery Limit's CEO, and he is certainly providing high-level graphite consultancy to the business. Francis is our Chinese representative, and James Frank is our UAE-based representative. So why UAE? We did a high-level sort of world survey that led us to the Middle East area and then selected UAE because it is a safe, secure country. It has fantastic infrastructure. It's really intent on diversifying from oil, and there are some wonderful sources of funding available out of there. It's also a strategic location from the sources of graphite and the world markets. So out of that, we looked at a couple of the Emirates and selected Abu Dhabi, and there we selected Kizad Port. And because Kizad Port, we get low energy costs. It's quite an energy consuming processes that we're looking at, and we're getting 8 cents kilowatt hour for power. No export, no import duties, no taxes in the country. And the infrastructure is fantastic. When you compare it with the difficulties of doing business in the African countries, there is a 4-lane highway goes directly into the facility. We're 15 minutes from the port, and power, water, everything is pretty much available. We needed a 13-hectare site, and that's our block of sand, as we call it, in the Kizad facility. So the supply chain's pretty straightforward. Graphite concentrates from the mine sites, shipping it to the UAE for processing, processing the concentrates, and then distributing the products. So where does the feed come from? The ore is mined normally by some sort of open cut method ranging from 5 to 15% TGC, total graphite carbon. It's processed using flotation, and then the flotation concentrates are dried and transported. So what are our range of products from the facility? Certainly spheroidized graphite products for battery anodes. We're using technology that's going to allow us to generate very high purity products. So it'll be on customer demand. There'll be a range of products that will be required. We're producing graphite foils, and that's out of the expandable market, so using high quality coarse flake graphite that we can get from the East African producers, and expanding it and then compressing it into foils. We've got the technology for 25 micron foils, and they attract a very high premium. Expandable graphite for the fire retardant building industries, and once again China is leading that. And then all the mainstream graphite products that rely on purified and micronized graphite, and these are the steel refractories, lubricants, friction products, paints, etc. So the current status, we started our pre-feas study. We actually started as a scoping study and it sort of morphed into a pre-feas study. We completed that in the middle of this year. It took us about 9 months to do it, but bearing in mind that when you compare it with a mining project, and this is pretty much indeed an industrial project, that there's no exploration, there's no drilling, there's no geology, there's no mining. And so you're able to pretty much jump straight into the processing activities. These sort of projects are driven by the market, and so you really start at the marketing end and work backwards to decide what your product mix is going to be. We already have a full feasibility study underway. We have a land offer agreement in place from the KEZAD Port Authority in Abu Dhabi. We've appointed our UAE representative. We've appointed Blue Oceans, our UAE environmental consultants. We have appointed a funding consultant in the UAE, Montpellier, and I've already been to the UAE and commenced funding negotiations there. One of the benefits, so far as the UAE is concerned, is that it's being built in their own backyard, so they're very positive with regard to the development of the project and also because of its future renewables characteristics. So current status and continuing on, we've conducted due diligence. Our team has spent quite some time in China, and we have pretty much decided on the technology and equipment suppliers that we're going to use for it. We're about to award the first phase of the work, the purification facility phase, in terms of feasibility study design, and that's because A, it's most complex, and B, we need the outputs for the environmental work in the UAE. As I said, we've got our marketing consultant in place, and just putting an MOU into place now for concentrate supply from an advanced graphite project developer. So what are we producing? About 12,000 tonne of purified graphite, about 2,800 of purified micronized graphite, about 8,000 tonne of expandable, 2,000 tonne of graphite sheet, and then our first phase, we're producing about 1,300 tonne per annum of spheroidized graphite, because that's the product that has the longest market acceptance. So once we've proven that, we'll then go on and expand that facility up to 8,000 tonnes. So in terms of our feed, we're looking at about 28,000 tonne of con for feed stage 1 and about 44,000 for stage 2. So you're looking at roughly 5% of the world flake market. It's not a project that's going to have difficulties in breaking into the world markets. Our supply cost assumptions for very coarse graphite plus 300 microns, in our financial models, we've used $19.50 a tonne because we very much believe that the premium products that are available are highly valued, and they will be able to produce excellent graphite foils as well as producing high quality expandable graphite. Coarse concentrate, we've modelled it at $12.50. And then the finer products at $700 and $750 a tonne for spheroidizing. The product mix is quite an even distribution of products. The total revenue over the 25-year period is $2.7 billion. And the great thing about the diversified product mix is it mitigates market risk. So we can certainly have one product that might drop in market appeal, but the product mix and the business retains its integrity. Just some examples of some of the sort of plant and equipment. From a financial perspective, CapEx for both stages is $105 million. The NPV at 8%, $400 million, and IRR of around 44%, which is pretty good for a long-term industrial project. So what really sets our company and our business apart, and really through Battery Limit's a strong expertise and understanding of graphite processing that extends right through to the secondary graphite processing business. The expertise that we've acquired through our consultant in graphite product marketing. One of our competitive advantages is that we're not tied to a particular mine site, but are able to select the best feed source with the best mineralogy and quality, because the mineralogy will dictate our operating costs, and certainly in the purification stages it's one of the key drivers. We will have the capacity, by adopting the technologies that we want, to produce a very high purity, high quality products if we choose to do so, or if our customers want it. We're a low cost, high margin producer, have an ethical supply chain, providing a QA/QC, so our customers will know the DNA of their graphite from the mine through to our process and through to them. And then over the next 12 months, our intentions are, probably our key driver is developing our product markets and approaching that both on an international basis and also specifically on a Chinese basis. Completion of our concentrate supply agreements, then detailed testing of the prospective suppliers of concentrate, and that'll be done in China by our technology partners and the EPC suppliers. Design, detailed engineering, and the completion of the feasibility study. Our proposal then is to be in production by 2021. Thank you.